Pitching it forward to Zero. 4-4. Paulie. Mark on the attack and Mark Baroka strikes back. Maurin, nice finish. Tana in the corner, open. Ogoy will try to get 4. Oh, he gets it. And all of a sudden, you can't make a mistake at this point, Coach.
And we're coming to you from the Phil Sports Arena as we present the second game of your quarterfinals. This is the pairing between the number 3 seed, the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots, and the number 6 seed, TNT Tropang 5G. They will lock horns with a legacy on the line here today. This is a presentation of PBA Rush and Filipinas Live, and we thank you for joining us. Carlo Pamintuan with Coach Ronnie Magsanok on the call. Coach Ronnie, different stories for both these camps. For TNT, it is of course wanting to keep their Grand Slam hopes alive. On the other side, for Magnolia, they would want to end a long, dry spell of championships that stretches all the way to 2018.
And these are two of the winningest franchises in the history of the PBA. For different reasons, they want to make it to the next phase. The difference is, one team only has to win once, the other has to be a winner twice, and that will be the team of TNT. As we take a look at the playoff picture, kanina nagsimula na, nananatiling buhay ang NLEX sa serye laban sa Rain or Shine, rather Rain or Shine laban sa NLEX. Dito naman, Magnolia will try to finish off and close the door on the Grand Slam aspirations of TNT, while TNT will try to live and fight another day.
For Magnolia, as usual, quick start, very hot to open the conference, but they struggled a bit towards the tail end of the elimination round. Luckily for them, they were able to pick up a big win, a huge win against this very team, TNT Tropang 5G, to earn that twice-to-beat advantage and arrange this duel once again. And you know that Magnolia, they're eager to really ditch that old adage that they're only good in the elimination round.
And with the players that are on board right now for Magnolia, namely Sav Lucero and of course Will Navarro, then everything will change for the better, and that is the hope of Coach Chito Victorero. We're talking about someone who is coming off the bench and has led the team in terms of scoring, rebounding, blocks, and number 3 an assist. And that's how good this young man is. Drafted 5th in season 48. Numbers that will tell you he is the cornerstone of this franchise in the years to come.
17 3-points made throughout the conference, and he is the only one, actually. He is the only member of Magnolia to have double-digit 3-point shooting numbers throughout the conference. For more on Magnolia, we toss it over to our courtside reporter, Miss Belle Gregory. Belle?
We do not have an advantage. That's what Coach Chito made clear to us and to his players, knowing how much deadlier TNT can be when their backs are against the wall. In fact, because of TNT's depth of talent and experience, Coach Chito's message to his team was, this is a do or die for us. They have to match TNT's level of defensive intensity or even surpass this as they did last game. Leaving no stone unturned, Magnolia even held practice here in the Phil Sports Arena yesterday to have a sense of familiarity again, as they haven't played here this conference. We'll see how effective this move might be, especially in boosting their confidence as they eye to end TNT's Grand Slam aspirations. But for now, back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for that report, Miss Belle. Again, for Magnolia, they want to finish that long dry spell that stretched from all the way to 2018. For TNT Tropang 5G, rather, it was the opposite start. They were 0-3. It also happened, something similar happened to them in the last conference as well. But this time they were able to recover, but not enough to make it into the top 4.
That's correct. And eventually that final matchup against TNT cost them the twice-to-beat advantage. This was the pathway that they have taken. Now it boils down to trying to survive as they aim to beat Magnolia in this first game of the series.
Obviously, key for TNT will be their 3-point shooting here in this matchup against Magnolia. That is their biggest advantage and the most potent weapon from the 3-point range from the TNT Tropang 5G is Calvin Oftana. Notched 36 3-point conversions in the elimination round, totaling 42.35%. He'll have to be on point, even if he may not be feeling 100% for this game.
You're talking about someone who is the leading scorer right now for TNT. 14 scoring overall, 42% from 3-point area, the best right now for Tropang 5G. And the rebounds is a workhorse on both ends of the floor and also an able ball mover a large part why TNT has won the last 2 championships in the Governor's Cup and in the Commissioner's Cup as well.
We're ready to get things going as we send it over to our venue announcer for the introductions of our starting units.
Point guard from Zamboanga City, number 17, Peter Alfaro. Shooting guard from Zamboanga City, number 14, Mark Barroca. Small forward from Olongapo City, Zambales, number 19, Rome De La Rosa. Power forward from Talisay, Batangas, number 6, William Navarro. And at center from Lubao, Pampanga, number 10, Ian Sangala. Coaching the Hotshots is Chito Victorero. And it's now time to meet the starters for the TNT Tropang 5G. Point guard from Manila, number 15, Jordan Henning. Shooting guard from Seattle, Negros Oriental, number 8, Calvin Octana. Small forward from Talisay City, Cebu, number 16, R.R. Pogoy. Power forward from Cagayan de Oro City, number 12, Glenn Cobontin. And at center from Cebu, number 21, Kelly Williams. Coaching the Tropang 5G is Chot Reyes. Game officials are Peter Balao, Mike
Legacy is on the line in this matchup between Magnolia and TNT. Alfaro, Barroca, Sangalang, De La Rosa, and Navarro will start for Coach Chito Victorero. On the other side, it's heading Octana, Kelly Williams, Glenn Cobuntin, and R.R. Pogoy for Coach Chot Reyes. Very interesting that they both have new players. Mid-conference acquisitions in Navarro and Heading, playing in their first playoff game for their respective sides. First possession will belong to TNT Tropang 5G.
2 big name players, 2 national players on board for these 2 teams.
Jordan heading to the corner. Glenn Cobuntin, the pull-up jumper. First shot attempt of the matchup will be a miss for TNT. Coach, what do you want to see coming from Magnolia? The last game, they played against each other. It was tight. It was highly defensive. Neither squad got to 90 points. Will this continue to be the theme here in this match?
I believe for Magnolia to be able to survive, they have to defend the 3-point line really well. And likewise, control the rebounding battle and execute on offense, because this is one aspect of their game that has vastly improved here in the Philippine Cup. Able to score right now in the 100-point mark.
Offensive rebound for Magnolia, as they will get another crack at it with hands on the defense to bother the touch. But Ian Sangalang recovers enough to give us the first bucket of the game.
Second leading scorer for the Hotshots, close to 14 points a game on 59% shooting from the restricted zone.
Jordan Heading pulls the trigger from way downtown. That's short for a 4. A couple of misses early for the Tropang 5G. Alfaro goes on the drive. And a good defensive stop from Heading, forcing the first turnover of this match.
Very important as well for Magnolia to grab those guard rebounds, so to speak. Misses coming off 3-point or 4-point attempts. Essential for Magnolia to be able to control, to be able to run at the opposite end.
Jordan Heading, the layup is good off the bank. He will have to play a tremendous game to give TNT a lift here in the quarterfinals.
Very steady from the outside. Also able to get to the driving lanes with ease. Definitely enjoys that height advantage over his matchup, Mark Barroca.
Mark this story, Coach Ronnie. In the past championships of the TNT Tropang 5G, Mikey Williams was Finals MVP, Jason Castro was Finals MVP, Reynam Batak was Finals MVP. All of those 3 players are not around or in the lineup for TNT, but you still get a great pickup in Jordan Heading, who can also play at that level, although he is playing his first few games with TNT, as Ian Sangalang provides a second bucket for Magnolia. 4 points for him early.
And remember that they also had to give up Mikey Williams, a franchise player, but who never saw action for them, was never seen action for them for the longest time.
Glenn Cobuntin gives the ball up to Pogoy. Sticky defense coming from Alfaro. Screen provided by Kelly Williams. Pogoy looking for daylight, forces it up, misses. The battle for the rebound is picked up by Alfaro.
Only 1 shot given up by Magnolia in the first 3 possessions for TNT.
Alfaro sends it up top to Barroca. They swing it to Williams. Now Sangalang has it. Ian Banging against Kelly Williams. Creates space. Sangalang misses. Oftana colors the board.
Just single coverage against Sangalang. Finally, Kelly Williams able to create a defensive stop against Sangalang.
Oftana runs into a brick wall, but they recover. Calvin fakes from the corner, attacks baseline, strong move as he gets his first bucket of the game.
All the baskets of these two teams have come from point blank. Attacking the basket, getting high percentage looks. Very important, especially for TNT, which only had 34 points from inside the paint in that loss against Magnolia last June 13.
Gets a double team. Navarro lost it. Mark Baroka misses from the outside. Heading will set the table now for TNT, asking for a quick ball screen with Kelly. Williams has it. Kelly hands it off. Heading turns the corner, kicks it out. Kelly Williams misses from downtown, but Heading picks up the rebound, but comes up short on the mid-range J.
Magnolia dodging a bullet as they gave up another chance to score here for TNT.
Action has been quick, but the buckets have not fallen regularly for either squad in the first 4 minutes of this game.
These are two of the top defensive teams in the Philippine Cup.
They will force you to be uncomfortable. They will force you to play outside your strength. And that's another turnover against Magnolia. Heading on the drive. That's a foul coming from William Navarro. Referees will talk about it. Yep, it will count coming from Calvin Oftana after absorbing the contact he played on. This was the foul. But he went all the way to the hoop for two.
And again, able to get to his strong side, which is to his left. Back-to-back incursions, 4 straight points for a 2-point lead for the face of the franchise.
Calvin Oftana, 20.36 points per ball game, 20.4 if you round up, including an efficient 42% from the three-point range.
Number 4 among the leading scorers, one of only 4 players to score over 20 points per contest. But the amazing part, the 42% shooting from the three-point line.
First taste of the lead for TNT, 7-4. Sangalang has provided all the points for Magnolia so far. Alfaro from the corner, misses. Rebound for Kelly. Williams pushing. Kelly on the drive, the strong move results to a foul called against Alfaro.
And again, TNT not settling for the three-point shots.
Yeah.
Instead, attacking the basket, especially the cross matches, able to get to the line, able to get into the gut of the defense of the hot shots.
You know, at this age, Kelly Williams plays mostly 5 for Coach Chot Reyes, but the handles have always been there. When he was still playing for Santa Lucia, when he was league MVP, he can rebound and push by himself. As he now toss it back to Bell.
More than the X's and O's, Coach Chot made sure to address them having the proper mindset in their most recent practices leading up to tonight. After what was a disappointing outing for them where Magnolia forced them to play uncharacteristically, even forcing them to 23 turnovers, he felt the need to address their attitude right away. With the loss still fresh in their heads, the perspective is this is a best-of-3 series. They lost Game 1 last time. They now have to adjust, especially according to assistant coach Shandy Araspacachaga, in alleviating some pressure off their guards and preparing the bigs as well for Magnolia's pressure. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for that report, Bell. And you can see how different coaches set up different situations as Paulie makes a 3 here. For Coach Chito Victorero, he said, this is just one game. Don't think about the next game. It does not exist. For Coach Chot Reyes, think about the first to even up the odds. This is just the second game of the series as Kelly Williams will not be able to get back that 3-point conversion from the lethal weapon.
Different ways to deflect the tension for the players.
Lucero, first drive, kicks it out to Barroca. Now Barroca will be tested by the physical defense of Brian Eruela. Sangalang down low, patient move inside. Gorgeous delivery from Barroca.
Excellent read by Mark Barroca, understanding that TNT, trapping the handoffs, trapping the ball screens, finding the downhill going Sangalang, who scores a 6-point out of the first 9-point output of Magnolia here in Quarter 1.
And Sangalang slipped that screen very, very early. He had so much space to operate inside as Oftana launches and converts. Sweet stroke from Calvin Oftana. This three-point shot is brought to you by Rexona. Stay cool in the heat of the game with Rexona. Ice cool. It won't let you down.
Shot poorly in that loss against Magnolia, only 5 of 15, but scored 15 points. That shot 3 of 5 from the 3-ball. Just last few days, 5 days ago.
Eruela with the offensive rebound, but he was unfortunately stepping out of bounds upon the catch. And now we will have our first timeout of this game. It is 12-9 in favor of the TNT Tropang 5G. It is pounding the ball inside. They generate points from forcing turnovers and getting those efficient points inside the paint. On the other side, three-point shooting, obviously a huge weapon for TNT because they have one of the top shooters in the land.
Right now, that will be tested. Talking about Magnolia and TNT, which team can impose their excellence against one another to be able to come out on top. For TNT, we'll try and push this match into a decider. While for the team of Magnolia, it's to close out the series as quickly as possible and march on to the semis, something that they have not yet been able to do here this season.
12-9 is the count as we're past the midway mark now of our first quarter. JP Eram in the ball game alongside Brandon Ganuelas Rosser and Kim Aurin. Only one starter remaining for Coach Chotres in Calvin Oftana. Xavier Lucero from the corner. He shoots a tremendous percentage from the three-point range at 44.7%. He knocks it down from deep to tie the game.
Just a rare breed, really. Sav Lucero, so good, even at this very young age.
Aurin to the corner. Oftana with a flyby. Step in, two-point shot is sweet for Calvin.
Good sign here for TNT. Calvin Oftana in a very good offensive flow to open up quarter one, nearing the double-digit mark already.
Also only one starter remaining. On the other side for Coach Chito Victorero. Make that to De La Rosa still in the game as Lucero sends it to De La Rosa. Rome dribbled it off his own foot. Another turnover against the Hotshots. Aurin will not force the issue. Oftana was momentarily open. Ooh, big collision down low between BGR and Lucero. Oftana goes to the step back. Short. Rebound for Eram.
Twin tower combination here for TNT. BGR and Poy Eram.
It's getting very, very physical between Xavier Lucero and Brandon Ganuelas Rosser. Playoff basketball early in this game.
Just to survive. Remember that BGR was not able to see action in that matchup against Magnolia a few days ago.
Yep.
Here is Oftana with a flyby move. Closeout was there. The closeout counter better than a closeout defense.
Serving out the suspension from the flagrant foul penalty 2.
Coach
gave up against Barangay Ginebra.
Right, Victorero matching up right now. Putting in Lapot, likewise Junicio, was integral in that 10-0 run in the early part of the fourth quarter that gained them separation against TNT.
That will not work for Simon Enciso on his first touch of the game. TNT still up by 2 here as Paul Lee is being defended by Kim Aurin. Lapot swings it to Lucero. Handoff now to Lastimosa. Jerome attacks baseline, sneaks one up and in with a foul.
I was looking at the roster of Magnolia. We have a lot of national players in this lineup, like this young man. Jerome Lastimosa, of course, highly touted in college, and Magnolia had to wait for him to recover from his knee injury. But that investment that they had on this young man has paid off dividends.
He was part of the Gilas Pilipinas unit that reclaimed Southeast Asian Games gold in Cambodia. The youngest member of that squad, as he retakes the lead for the Hotshots, 15-14. Bogoy uses the Eram screen. RR goes baseline. No space, had to pass out to Rosser. Enciso,
nice
back
pass.
to BGR. But he was well defended. So many bodies inside for the blue shirts. Now Jerome has it. Jonicio fakes. Harris kicks it out to Lastimosa. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Magnolia, as you have a mismatch here. Size advantage for Xavier Lucero.
Nice pass.
Cross-court pass. Jonicio for three. In and out. BGR with the board. Three minutes remaining in your first quarter of action. As usual, a tight defensive-minded contest between these two squads. Good cut. Enciso lost control on the way up. BGR steps out of bounds. And those are the opportunities where if you are Coach Chot Reyes, you would have hoped that BGR just took that shot because he was open. And it's a shot that he can definitely make. Now a timeout, the first of the ball game for Magnolia. They're up by 1, 15-14.
You know what I love about Filipinas Live?
Bench points. Well, it has been a big strength for Magnolia. It really helps when your top scorer in Xavier Lucero, who averages 18.9 points per ball game, came off the bench in 8 of your 11 elimination round games. But it has also been because Coach Chito Victorero is extending his rotation, really giving everyone the opportunity to get some minutes, to get some burn in any given game.
If TNT is the best shooting team from the 3-ball, Magnolia is the top team in terms of bench scoring, close to 60 points per contest. Why? They have Lucero, they have Poli, they have Lastimosa coming off the bench most of the time.
Poli, the most prolific 4-point shooter in this conference, misses, but Lapot is there to turn garbage into gold, and those are golden points, Coach.
Indeed.
Those are bonus, those are gravy points for Coach Chito Victorero.
Poli is shooting at a 50% clip from the 4-point line at 15 out of 30. And so far, Lapot has done extremely well protecting the restricted zone here for Magnolia.
Poli to Lastimosa, the layup is gone. They're going on the run, they're attacking quickly, and now they lead by 5.
Poli had 7 points and 7 assists in that last win by Magnolia over TNT.
Eram on the pick and pop. He's open. 3-point shot. Should not knock it down. Loose ball foul will be tagged against Lucero. That will be number 2 on him.
And all of the fouls that he has committed were against BGR.
Now another new player seeing action for Coach Chot Reyes. New in terms of seeing his first action of this game. In Henry Galinato Jr. Seven to nothing run. Enough to take this 5-point lead for Magnolia. As there is a cut that has to be addressed for Xavier Lucero. Bloodied lip. Forcing this substitution, William Navarro checking back into this ball game for the time being. 1:47 left in the first.
Another former national player. He was recently been signed by Magnolia.
Jordan heading, creates space. He was blocked. Before that, there was a foul. As a result, Heading will get 2 free throws.
This is someone who played abroad before earning a spot here in the PBA. Played in Taipei for eventually making his mark here.
So for Jordan Heading, his role with Gilas Pilipinas was mostly as a spot-up shooter. But when we saw him in Converge, we understood better that he had more nuance, that he had more to give, more to bring to the table. Can be your ace playmaker. He can get you double-digit numbers in terms of assists, and that is the hope for TNT, as they're again missing the services of Reynam Batak and Jason Castro, their number 1 and number 2 point guard in their championship runs this year.
One thing also good about Heading is also a big-time clutch player.
That's a miss coming from Lastimosa. Meanwhile, there's a foul that will go against Magnolia, and they are in penalty.
TNT went to the line only 12 times in the first encounter. So the foul was against
They
TNT.
switch it up. Yep. Earlier, they motioned that the foul was against Magnolia.
Because someone was holding on to Will Navarro.
That will be the 3rd team foul for TNT. Paul Lee looking for a call. Referee's not biting. Heading on the crossover. Bodies up against Lastimosa. Comes up short on the banker. Coach Chito asking them to spread the floor. He did not want that ball screen, so Lastimosa did not have enough space. Navarro will try from deep. Too strong on the triple. Jonicio
Smart
gets the offensive rebound, and he will take 2.
heard the whistle, threw the ball up straight to the rim. Will be rewarded with 2 free throws apart of that unit that gave Coach Chito Victorero a 10-0 blast. And that separation that they needed in the first 4 minutes of quarter 4. Up 69-66 suddenly, ahead at 79-66, 8-minute mark of the 4th, and they weathered the final storm, the final uprising coming from TNT, mainly through the efforts of Lucero.
Filipinas Live Shorts is here. Catch exclusive bite-sized content from your favorite sports icons such as Benny Gandler, Vicky Sharma, and Dino Wong. More from hobbies to behind-the-scenes moments. Download Filipinas Live app and update to the latest version to access Filipinas Live Shorts for free. Well, if we talked about the bonus points from Laput, you'll also have to feel the same for this bucket coming from Galinato.
What about the setup job coming from Jordan Heading? The pocket pass, perfect delivery.
Navarro, the runner, is got to respond.
And probably, aside from Mark Baroka, the best ball screen player for Magnolia right now is Paul Lee.
Yeah.
But not to get a shot up anymore. It's to set up his teammates, suck in the defense, and create scoring opportunities.
4-point advantage. Kogoy with 6 to work with. They go to the corner. Kobuntin open momentarily. Hits only glass, and that will be it for the first 12 minutes of this ball game. It will be another low-scoring affair between the defensive-minded Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots and TNT Tropang 5G. Jerome Lastimosa will not shy away from the bright lights of PBA playoff basketball, as he is presenting to be a good source of second-unit points for Coach Chito Victorero, helping his team out get this strong start in the game. They want to end the wait since 2018. Magnolia looking good after the first 12 minutes of action. They will lead by 4 points against the TNT Tropang 5G. 22-18 is your count at the end of the first quarter.
Filipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
Just about ready to start our second quarter of the action. Jerome Lastimosa coming off the bench, scoring 5 points already. For Magnolia, he norms a shade under double digits. You'd want him to shoot a little bit more of an efficient clip from the three-point range. But when he gets to those downhill drives, he's a tremendous finisher around the rim, Coach Ronnie.
Also gets to the line and shoots well from the line. One thing I like about him is that he is also a crafty playmaker. Nice matchup between Heading and Lastimosa.
We will begin our second quarter, a 4-point advantage for Magnolia. Looking to punch their ticket to the semifinals, the first team to do so here in your Philippine Cup. William Navarro struggling with his ball handling. Finally, a release pass to Onicio. Misses his second look from downtown. That ball was lost to the baseline. JP Aram just could not hold on to it.
Aside from the converged fiber Xers, this team of Magnolia is the team that goes to the post offense a lot. And that is with reason. They have Sanggalang, they have Lucero, and now they have Will Navarro. And then they look for mismatches if they can. What about the ageless Rafi Ribis? The evergreen Rafi Ribis named as the best player in that win against TNT.
Oh, miscommunication there. And that's where you feel that the chemistry is simply not there yet with William Navarro and his new teammates here in Magnolia.
It will come.
You'll just have to be a little more patient and wait for that moment to come, because they have a tremendous player. Great pickup in William Navarro from Northport. R.R. Pogoy posting up. Great hands. Forcing the takeaway was Mark Baroka. Now Lastimosa freezes his defender. They swing it to Navarro. Back to Baroka. Oh, that will be an illegal screen, as De La Rosa could not get to that pin down screen in time.
Excellent defensive sequence here for the white shirts. Cross matches, no problem. They kept closing out, trying to close out the three-point line. This one, roadblock, attempted to be set by Rome De La Rosa. Called for that offensive foul. And again, the effort by Aram to try and close out.
Jordan Heading against Alfaro, who's just checked in. Aram goes to the hook. That is a beauty, as he scores the first bucket of the second quarter.
Second assist for Jordan Heading, playing the point guard position.
Pull-up will not work for Baroka. Easy pickup for Calvin Oftana. Heading on the drive once again. Did not have the angle on the layup.
That was a taller defender, a heftier one against him in that last sequence.
Baroka uses the brush screen coming from Navarro. Extra pass. Oh, blocked from behind, but a foul was also called. Drawn by Rafi Ribis.
And again, reading the trap defense. Dropping that dime straight to Will Navarro. What about the rear cutting Rafi Ribis? The quick first step is still available for Mr. Rafi Ribis.
Watch our Alas Pilipinas at the 2025 ABC Volleyball Nations Cup for Men this June 17 to 23. Only on One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live. Substitutions for both camps, as they want to keep things fresh on the floor, and that is the mindset that you need to have when you are a heavily defensive team. None of your players can be tired, because you need that effort.
Rafi Ribis just played his most minutes in the last match. 12 minutes, 4 points, 6 rebounds, a steal and a block. Crucial offensive rebounds down the stretch for Magnolia against TNT.
Pogoy has it. Well covered by Ribis. Had to pass it out. Pogoy, the pass stolen. And the ball will bounce toward Magnolia's favor. Baroka forces the issue. Was able to put it up. Draws a foul. And he'll take 2.
It was 2 against 5, but he saw his advantage. Half a step clear. Went for the layup. And again, will go to the line for 2 free throws. Magnolia, 16 of 19 at 84% against TNT's 9 of 12 only. But shot 75% in their win last June 13.
A challenge coming from Coach Chot Reyes. He had a conversation with Calvin Oftana. And they feel it was not enough. You saw that the hand went in front of Baroka, but Calvin Oftana also pulled it back out. So it will be interesting how the referees will judge that action. Was their contact made? Was it enough to be a foul? Will this be a successful challenge or not? We'll find out in just a little bit.
Right now also, Simon Enciso coming in for Jordan Heading. Enciso did not score against Magnolia. Enciso played, I believe, a total of 22 minutes. Shot 2 times, but had 4 assists. Very important for Enciso to find his offensive flow tonight.
Well, the review is taking a bit. Sometimes that is a good sign for the team that challenged, but now we're ready to hear the decision.
The challenge made by the Tropang 5G was not successful.
It was not successful.
Worth mentioning, points off the bench. Magnolia had 14 in the first quarter. 14 of their 22 points coming from their second unit. Last time that these two teams met, Magnolia 48 bench points, TNT at 40.
10 points per ball game, alongside 5.2 assists. And that will be the first point scored by Baroka here in this game.
One of only 4 players scoring in double figures for Magnolia. #1 passer for the Hotshots. And one of the top clutch players that we have here still in the PBA. Member of the Gilas 1.0 under Coach Raiko Toroman many years ago.
5-point advantage now for Magnolia.
Ito ay isang tsabakanong tunay.
With his backcourt partner, Peter Alfaro, both in the game right now. Always an advantage coming from RR Pagoy. Very patient inside as he scores too deep.
Took 2 attempts, did not score in the first quarter. Last time that they played was the leading scorer, 18 points in 34 minutes.
No field goals yet for Magnolia here in the second quarter. And that will remain to be the story of Tana now on the push. BGR. Ooh. Fouled there.
By Alfaro.
Yep. And it looks like got clipped on the face. So our referees will want to take another look at that last foul.
And again, the Enciso factor. No Nambatak, no Jason Castro. Somebody has to be the quarterback. Jordan Heading showing us his versatility. But you know that Enciso is the natural point guard. And let's see how he's able to provide the value that TNT needs in terms of playmaking, in terms of pushing the pace, and finding open teammates, especially in transition.
And as expected, the low-scoring duel between these two teams. Usually their matchups don't go 90 points for good reason. They're aware of the tactics of the other side. They force you out of your strength. As you take another look at this last foul. Got a piece of the head of PGR, but he was also going for the basketball. So, and the referees will assess the situation. Always tough to make a judgment on these calls, Coach Ronnie, as you would know.
Now let's see. Oh, that's an
Flagrant
F1.
one.
TNT went to the line 5 times, converted all of their free throws in the first 12 minutes. Magnolia at 66% on 2 of 3 from the free throw line.
And the referee saying that the contact with the head was enough to upgrade it to a flagrant foul, even if there was an honest attempt to block that shot. And if you're Peter Alfaro, yun lang talaga yung aabutan mo, coach.
Yeah, yan ang totoo naman.
He's so much shorter than Brandon Ganuelas Rosser. 2 free throws for BGR, but he misses the first.
It was a good drop coming from Calvin Oftana. That's the best that Alfaro can do.
BGR secures the second free throw and they will retain possession. Ian Sangalang coming in for Rafi Rivas. Kelly Williams will return to the matchup because he has been the best defender against Ian Sangalang.
The leading scorer right now for Magnolia after a 6-point first quarter.
Remember, in our second PBA bubble that was played in Davao, it was these two teams that met in the finals, and that was one of the key matchups. Sangalang versus Kelly Williams. Oftana drives, loses control, and they will run out of clock. Turnover, wasted possession for TNT.
TNT just had 2 turnovers in the first 12 minutes.
Good sign, yeah.
Last time that they played, they had 23, gave up 20 points in terms of turnover points.
Also negative assists to turnovers ratio in that game. Baroka goes to the crossover, leaves Pogoy, could not bang it home. BGR with the board.
2 former Tamaraos match up against one another.
Oftana uses the quick screen from BGR. Downhill drive, the layup is good for Ganuelas Rosser.
I was about to say BGR has kept the offensive score or the offensive output of Lucero to a minimum. And again, one of the best bigs going downhill.
Sangalang continuing his stellar play.
4 of 5, total of 8 points.
Yep. Hot start for Ian. Rosser goes to Pogoy. Quick shot from RR. He's getting his looks from the shaded area.
And the value of BGR being felt right now by TNT. Defending Lucero, attacking Lucero, becoming a ball mover. Spotting that matchup or matchup advantage by Pogoy against Lastimosa.
Scrambling defense coming from Kelly Williams with a takeaway. Now he will drive and draw the foul. He will take 2.
Wide open from the trail post spot. This one. The pocket pass to BGR was so quick for his size, really. And this communication between Pogoy and BGR. Pogoy telling BGR to flash to the right elbow. And he had that nice reverse seal against his matchup.
What that does is it allows the help defense to be non-existent against RR Pogoy. As you take a look at the numbers of Kelly Williams, 10 points and 2 boards in their last meeting in their elimination round matchup against Magnolia.
Played 15 minutes, but only had 2 rebounds, but had 10 points on 4 of 10 shooting. 2 converted 3-point baskets and 2 of 3 from the line.
Miss from the stripe. Kelly with the first. Misses the second. BGR, though, will get the offensive rebound and draw the foul as well.
They really waited patiently for BGR to return to active roster, and you can see the reason why.
Well, you all know that knee injuries could be tricky if you rushed it. Even just a couple of weeks, it could be a problem as BGR is called for the offensive foul.
Quarter scoring, Magnolia has 5 points here in quarter 2. TNT has 7. Make that 9 after finishing with 18 in the first 12 minutes.
Tied game, 27 apiece. BGR went for the steal. It forced an opening on offense for Magnolia. No one picking up the rebound for the white shirts, as Magnolia will have another opportunity. Paul Lee splits a double team. That will be a traveling violation.
Well defended by Pogoy. And again, BGR able to match up well against Lucero. Foot speed, size, length, and toughness.
That is his value here in this game.
Because normally Lucero will be in double digits by now with a regular matchup.
BGR up top, looking for Pogoy, the handoff. RR against a taller, lankier Lucero. Stares at the clock. Now a bigger Ian Sangalang. He pulls the trigger. Misses from downtown. Rebound for Kelly Williams. The putback is good for 2.
They were beaten in second chance scoring. Rather, they had a +10 in second chance scoring last time that these two teams met at 23-13.
A throwback performance coming from Kelly Williams, doing it on both ends, showing us that he can still battle on the boards, securing that basket to push TNT back up by 2, 29-27.
And this is a 7-2 second quarter run here for TNT. Anchored on Pogoy, Rosser, and Kelly Williams.
In and out on the triple, and then the lucky bounce falls in BGR's favor. Pogoy playing cat and mouse with Lastimosa. And Ciso from downtown won't work on the triple. Sangalang secures the rebound for Magnolia. Lastimosa against Enciso. Gets it back from Sangalang. They slip the screen once again. Jonicio has been pulled from the outside. He'll try his luck inside, so nothing there for him.
That's good defense for Glenn Cabuntin, forcing Jonicio to put the basketball down.
Pogoy, pull-up jumper, good for 2.
Scoreless in the first quarter. Has come alive here in quarter 2. Down 25-22, up 31-27, 9-2 blast generated by Tropang 5G.
Drop coverage against that ball screen. It will be tough if you use that defense against a tremendous mid-range shooter like RR Pogoy. The hopes and dreams of getting into a Grand Slam is pinned on this one game for the TNT Tropang 5G. They're up by 4 against the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots heading into this timeout.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Shaded area continues to play a big role for the TNT Tropang 5G in this match. We send it over to Bell for more on Pogoy.
RR humbly gave credit to Magnolia's defense for denying the shooters and limiting their touches in their most recent outing. After that loss, he also couldn't help but admit how being in this twice-to-win disadvantage is such a weird feeling to grapple with. But he has been telling his teammates, we will keep making mistakes, but we shouldn't stop. We should keep going. Because in RR's eyes, the first time around, Magnolia forced them to many mistakes, which frustrated them too much, and it got in the way of them trying again. Tonight, they must have the ability to shake things off and get right back. Gentlemen.
Well, you were talking about him. You say his name and he appears. RR Pogoy converting another bucket inside to stretch their lead back up to 4 after the make from William Navarro.
And again, I reiterate, did not score in quarter 1. Only had 2 attempts, but very aggressive here and extremely efficient. But Paulie has seen enough.
Paulie changed his mind mid-shot. He was looking to pass up until he decided to take that shot. He will bank it home.
But not too many players can make that shot. Rafty in midair.
Cobuntin to Kelly Williams. They're looking for the hot hand of R.R. Pugoy. Oh, the steal coming from the lethal weapon. He's on the attack. Paulie leaves it for Sangalang, gets the bump, and he earns 2 free throws.
Paulie making some two-way plays here for hot shots after they lost traction of the 3-point lead at 25-22 and fell behind at 31-27.
Paulie looking for his 4th assist of this matchup. It would be delivered by Ian Sangalang with at least a conversion from the stripe here in this trip.
Paulie averages close to 4 assists per contest. Just second behind the over 5 assists per game coming from Mark Baroka.
Ian Sangalang, about 14 points per ball game. Already scattering 8, and we still have 4.5 minutes to play in your first half.
6 in the first quarter, 2 points here in quarter 2 for Ian Sangalang.
Oh, 2 misses for Ian, as that will also prevent Paulie from securing his 4th assist of this match. 4:23 remaining in our first half. Sangalang versus Kelly Williams. Kelly with the handoff to Oftana. The spin, but Sangalang taps it loose and out of bounds. Oftana asking for a foul. Referee's not agreeing. 6 seconds remaining in the shot clock for the white shirts.
That dribble handoff play by Kelly Williams for Roger Pugoy really worked wonders for the offense of TNT.
Finally sending it to Glenn Cobuntin. He will have to attack early. The pull-up jumper did not save the day with that mid-range miss. Just a 2-point lead for TNT. Navarro for 3. Gets the lead back for Magnolia.
Very steady from the outside and within. 13 points in 7-10 minutes last time that they played.
This 3-point shot is brought to you by Rexona. Stay cool in the heat of the game with Rexona High School. It won't let you down. Cobuntin, counter 3, can't knock it down. TNT, ice cold from the 3-point distance. Paulie for 4, it's on! The most prolific 4-point shooter of the conference. Just converted another one. That is his 16th 4-point make of the Philippine Cup.
In just 31 attempts. That's over 50%.
Kelly Williams missing from deep. Again, TNT is not making their threes here in the first half of action.
11-2 run here by Magnolia in the last 3.5 minutes.
That might be reviewed for a possible goaltending violation, but they will play on 38-33. Heading to Kelly Williams. There was a foul on the pass.
Again, it was a 31-27 scoreline. 5-minute and 53 mark. That much time has gone through, and Magnolia suddenly exploding with 11 points, containing TNT to just a single basket.
Timeout for the TNT Tropang 5G. They will have possession. We come back from this quick break.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
The lethal weapon Paulie, 50% from way downtown, and he adds another hit to that list.
Not just Colby. Even Alfaro and Lastimosa have contributed heavily, and that's why this is the top shooting team. From the 4-point line, at 27 made out of 61 attempts, good for about 44%.
Because that just means that they take the shots when they're really open. They don't force any of the shots to get that kind of quality.
Pero alam mo, yung range na yan, hindi lahat yan meron eh.
Absolutely.
Maski na open ka, ang hirap i-shoot yan, napakalayo niya.
Ooh, almost a turnover there. Oftana goes to the step back, could not make it. Rebound picked up by Sangalang.
And the good thing about Magnolia is that they have regained the lead, even without Lucero providing the much needed points and not playing his usual overall efficient self.
Pass was too forward. Jerome Lastimosa was quicker to the loose ball. Wasted opportunity to go on the attack for TNT. Jerome with a double crossover. Layup won't work. Rebound Oftana. 2 minutes and change remaining in our first half. Heading gets the friendly bounce.
This time he's able to get to his left side. Heading had 4 points in the first quarter. Heading had 12 points in their first meeting, played 30 minutes.
Baroka looking for options. He locates Navarro. Driving lane for William. The pass lands with Ian Sangalang, who stays patient to get another bucket.
That's teamwork between Navarro and Sangalang. Sangalang is near 60%. We talk about his shooting rate. Excellent creation coming from Will Navarro in that last offensive sequence.
Sangalang double digits with 10. A replay on the shot won't work the second time around for Heading. Still a 5-point lead for Magnolia, 40-35. As we're down to the final minute and 12 of your opening half. Both teams with a foul to give. Baroka to Sangalang. The set shot won't go. Eram is ahead. Eram scores on the layup.
Excellent vision coming from Calvin Oftana. Leaking out.
Yeah.
And rewarded.
Well, challenging the jump shooter and then going to the other side.
Right.
You're allowed to do that. As Lastimosa hangs midair, does not get the bounce. That ball will stay with Magnolia. Coach Rodriguez really disagreeing with that last call. We'll get another angle on it. See, the layup won't work. Rebound. Did Navarro get a touch on it? Even on replay, even on slow-mo, it was very difficult to decide, Coach Ronnie. But it did bounce off of Oftana's leg. On the way out, was there another gentle touch from William Navarro? That is the contention coming from TNT.
Technical foul on TNT Tropang 5. He head coach Shaw players for a segment to a non-call.
Technical foul whistled against Coach Shaw. There was a warning already earlier. So that will donate a free throw to Magnolia's cause.
This was a 31-27 lead by TNT, 5:53 mark. 31-27 since that time. Magnolia accounting for 13 points. TNT 6.
Well, the team's best free throw shooter is on the line right now, 87%. Jerome Lastimosa secures it to extend their lead back up to 4.
6 points. Under 21 minutes. Had 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Only 1 single turnover. Jerome Lastimosa, excellent off-the-bench player. Very steady, especially in the home stretch.
14 seconds on shot clock. Quick trigger won't work for William Navarro. 4-point advantage still for Magnolia. Quick move from Oftana. Looking for a possible 2 for 1. It's too late now. And that will be a 3-second violation versus the Tropang 5G.
That's why the value of Will Navarro cannot be overemphasized. He was the leading scorer for Northport before being traded to Magnolia. But outstanding defensive player, really.
Of course, the requirements are very different when you come from a squad like Northport to a team, a built team, a contending team in the Philippine Cup like Magnolia. Now they're milking the clock. They want to take the last possible shot here in the first half. There is a foul to give. De La Rosa sinks it from downtown. A little too relaxed on defense as TNT. Maybe they were thinking of that foul. Maybe they were hoping to have another opportunity to set up their defense. But just a quick attack, a good read from Magnolia.
Excellent decision coming from Jerome Lastimosa. Over-helping and leaving De La Rosa wide open for the 3-ball look. De La Rosa for the Philippine Cup, 7 of 23, 30%. And also a very steady player for this franchise the last few years. Second generation player. Anak ni Romy De La Rosa, pamangkin ni Ruben De La Rosa.
That was a 4 3-point conversion for the Magnolia Hotshots in this first half. On the other side, 1 of 13 for TNT.
That's low. Very low.
To remind you for games on Friday, as we play in the Ninoy Aquino Stadium, Meralco versus the San Miguel Beermen in a finals rematch in the quarterfinals. And then Barangay Ginebra San Miguel, also with twice a beat, like SMB, going up against the Converge Fiber Xers. We will also have at least one game on Saturday as the rain or shine Elasto Painters force a do or die against the Lex Road Warriors. Oh, that's a turnover after calling a timeout. That's the worst that could happen if you're TNT.
This is a 17-6 second quarter surge right now thrown by Magnolia against TNT.
Oh, what Jason Castro would give to be able to play and help out his team in this game. As both teams making adjustments to the guys they have on the floor. Baseline out of bounds. Mark Baroka, the heady playmaker, will trigger the play inbound here. Navarro, quick trigger, won't fall. And that will do it for the first 24 minutes of action. A sudden surge coming from the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots will give them the advantage heading into the halftime break. It has been a highly defensive game, so any little burst, any scoring spurt is crucial to the cause of both these squads, TNT and Magnolia, hoping for a shot at the semifinals. Magnolia needs only one win to get there, and they will hope that they pick it up here and now inside the Phil Sports Arena. They lead 44-37 at the half.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Filipinas Live.
Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
About Pilipinas Live.
Volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Love about Pilipinas Live.
Volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Filipinas.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Losing traction of that 4-point lead, down 2 points, before eventually outscoring the team of TNT to the tune of 13 against 4. And these two teams were led by the following leading scorers.
Coach, when it comes to these two teams, it's just all about bursts because that is the only thing that the opposing defense will allow. You cannot score heavily on them for 8 minutes of a quarter. You need to maximize everything that you can accomplish in 2-3-minute runs, and that's exactly what Magnolia did in the second period.
That also happened in their first meeting 5 days ago. A fourth quarter surge that TNT was not able to match.
Now Xavier Lucero starting things off, injected in this first unit of Coach Chito Victolero. Maybe TNT defense was not ready for him to see action this quickly, as they also have an adjustment with Simon Enciso playing alongside Jordan Heading for that dual point guard lineup. Lucky break for TNT as they get possession back. Pogoy could not hit it from downtown.
Heading back to his natural position, while Lucero not match up against BGR to start out quarter 3.
De La Rosa wants 4 and he will get it.
It was a 7-point surge earlier in quarter 2, generated by Paulie and Will Navarro. But a big 4-point shot from the best 4-point shooting team coming from De La Rosa pushes their lead to 13 at this stage.
And very, very quickly, Coach Shotreyes will make his adjustment, cause the number of Brandon Ganuela's roster. He's the designated matchup against Xavier Lucero. That's just pure talent from Calvin Oftana with a fadeaway J.
Extremely talented. 10 points in the first quarter, none in quarter two. Roger Pogoy and Calvin Oftana have to pick up the cudgels in terms of offensive output here for TNT.
Same shot, different result for Lucero, and this will be a completed stop for the white shirts of TNT. Oftana, quick trigger, could not convert.
Another good contest coming from Lucero.
And he is allowed to take those shots, being the top shooter for TNT. The top scorer missed from Alfaro. And now TNT, they need to quicken the pace just a tad bit here in this third quarter to get back from this double-digit deficit. That will certainly help, as Jordan Heading will be gearing to take two. Jordan Heading has only taken one free throw prior to this game for TNT. Makes it count with the first. 12 points, 6 boards in 30 minutes. Efficient 5 of 10 from the field in their elimination round matchup versus this very team.
In the first two quarters, had 6 points in 12 minutes. Starter scoring favor TNT, 28-22, but the bench, the second unit players of the Hotshots, total 22 points. TNT under 10 points. And the reason? Lastimosa, Paul Lee, joining forces.
Miss coming from Mark Baroka. So TNT starting to chip away at that 13-point lead. Kelly Williams is fouled. The referee saying it was before the shot attempt.
This is a 4-0 counter coming from TNT after a 6-0 opening of quarter three was imposed by Magnolia earlier.
Heading will use a screen from Kelly. Cross-court pass, Oftana, the flyby, BGR inside, will get two.
And again, his activity, the brute force that he possesses, the physicality that he brings.
Because if Xavier Lucero was a straight post-up player, yes, you can rely on the likes of Kelly Williams and then the JP Eram, but because of his ability to put the ball down, his defender must have some lateral movement
from
ability.
The outside. That's Gerald Francisco, of course.
Played for the Santa Lucia franchise, large team, PBA. 1 of 2 from the stripe for BGR.
Also saw action for UST.
Speaking of Santa Lucia, how about this guy, Ryan Reyes? Also played for that franchise alongside his fellow former realtor, Kenley Williams, who's still seeing action for TNT. Mark Baroka issues a pass to Alfaro. He's open, but he will miss his second straight shot. Another chance to eat away at the lead for TNT. Oftana against Sangalang. He has a speed advantage. Kicks it out. Pogoy. This is open, and he finally buries one from deep.
8-0 cluster after being outscored 6-0. Down 50-37. Down just behind by a 2-possession deficit. This is talking about Pogoy and Calvin Oftana finding ways to help out TNT come back after being down by 13.
50-45, just a 5-point advantage now for the Hotshots as they will call an early timeout here in the third quarter.
You know,
Both teams have recognized the quality of the defense employed in the first half. According to assistant coach Jason Webb, they were very pleased at how they limited TNT to 1 of 13 from beyond the arc and how their personal spacing paved the way for open looks and good shots. However, they made sure to remind the Hotshots to anticipate TNT making a run. On the other side, aside from their poor perimeter shooting, Coach Sandy shared how TNT's 12 turnovers were flagged. So they were reminded that whenever they get the ball inside, no need to be in a hurry. They can settle down and find an open man from beyond the arc because they've been experimenting with Magnolia's defensive strength, which is collapsing inside. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for that report, Belle. Xavier Lucero slips, he recovers. And he was fouled by BGR on that shot. He will take 2, but they will need to get those shooters open. They will need to get them available for those kick-out passes. And this lineup worked just a tad better because you now have 3 guards in the rotation. You have, well, at least earlier, they had Enciso alongside Jordan Heading as well, with RR Pogoy. Now a bit of a bigger lineup for Coach Chot Reyes as we remind you that unforgettable awaits. Watch the 2025 NBA Finals this June on NBA TV Philippines, on Sports, RPTV, and Pilipinas Live. And use the hashtag NBA on Signal and hashtag everything counts for all of your NBA Finals discussions. The Oklahoma City Thunder 1 away from winning it all.
It's all about defensive pressure. Taking away precious possessions. Down 13, 50, 37 earlier. Suddenly, explosion from the long ball coming from Oftana and Pogoy.
But a cheap turnover given up there by TNT. And now Paulie has it versus Pogoy. Who will initiate this play? Paulie looking for a friend, finally delivering to Barroca, asking for a screen coming from Lucero.
Nice pass.
What a cut coming from Xavier. Pinpoint pass from Barroca.
Attacking before the screen was set and then waiting for Lucero to find that strong side opening. That's the quickness that Lucero has.
Jordan Heading quickly attacks on the other side to respond.
That's settling for the 3 ball instead, attacking inside the gut of the defense. 2-possession lead still remains here for Magnolia after being ahead by 13 at 50 against 37.
Both coaches forcing the other to adjust to the personnel they have on the floor. Now Barroca goes on the drive, the signature one-hander. It's good for 2.
10-3 blast by TNT after being down earlier by 13. Barroca tries to push Magnolia further away from TNT.
55-47, an 8-point lead. As Pogoy receives, that will be another offensive foul versus Brandon Ganuelos Rosser as he was trying to seal Lucero inside. You know, sometimes BGR gets caught up in the physicality of the matchup. And your defenders will use that aggression against you.
Lucero able to make the necessary adjustments after the halftime break. As in the early goings, BGR did a fine job containing him, extracting fouls against him. But here in quarter 3, Magnolia also intentional in getting Lucero his touches to be able to score early and regain his confidence.
Now a smaller defender will be tasked to go up against Xavier Lucero and Calvin Oftana. The pull-up is good for Paulie.
That's a total of 11 points off the bench. The leading scorer from the second unit is Paulie tonight. Up 10 once again, Magnolia.
Paulie showing us the hit, slight step back to create space against the defense of RR Pogoy. And now a timeout for the TNT Tropang 5G. Down 57-47 against Magnolia. Pauli's averages here in the Philippine Cup, 11.7 points, 3.8 assists. But note this, note the 43.2% shooting, Coach. That's 43.2, but from the 4-point range, which should be the most difficult shot available for any player in the PBA, shooting 50% in the elimination round, 15 of 30 from way downtown. He even added to his makes with one earlier.
But to me, Paul Lee, it's not about just those numbers. It's about someone who's so used to playing in these situations and coming up big almost every single time.
And after a timeout, Coach Chot Reyes just went with the percentages. And more often than not, RR Pugoy will deliver with a mid-range look like that.
Third quarter has been a game of runs here for these two squads.
Oh, that's a turnover coming from Magnolia. Pugoy on the move, keeps that pivot locked in and able to fish a foul against Paul Lee.
44-37 to start the third. 6-0 run for Magnolia increases their lead to 50-37. And then 8-0 counter coming from Pugoy and Oftana decreased their disadvantage to 50-45. And then Paul Lee, Wakstat, and Baroka for a 7-0 counter surge. And Pugoy, with his own version, of a solo third quarter run. Should he convert these two coming free throws?
Paul Lee saying that RR Pugoy lifted his pivot foot. There was some movement earlier as we welcome PBA Chairman, TNT Governor, Sir Ricky Vargas, and Smart Communications COO, Sir Anastasio Boy Martinez, to the Field Sports Arena, enjoying the action here in this quarterfinal duel between TNT and Magnolia. The second free throw is good for Pugoy.
8 points in quarter two. That's 8 of the 19 second quarter points for TNT. Has to do more together with Oftana and Jordan Heading.
Approaching the midway mark now of your third quarter, 7-point lead for the Blue Shirts. Paul Lee, step back three, no good. That will be a foul against Lucero going over the back of Oftana.
Two things, that will be his third and they will be in team penalty after that last loose ball foul.
Did a lot of time to play here in the third quarter. On the other side, TNT only one team foul. They can really maximize the physicality on defense to try and get back into this contest. Eram hands it off to Pugoy. Pugoy puts his defender in jail. The lefty layup is good off the bank.
5 straight points for Roger Pugoy in 3 possessions.
But again, this is something that you can do if you are Jordan Heading. You can be extra physical as you have still 3 fouls to give at this stage.
5-point run after being down at 57-47.
This move, Coach, putting your defender in jail, keeping him behind you is so crucial to the attack off the ball screen of any playmaker.
But that's easier said than done. That's the kind of talent that Roger Pugoy has.
Lastimosa, the 3 won't work. Rebound of Tana. Pugoy on the drive. Kicks it out to Oftana. Still a lot of time remaining in the shot clock. Pugoy with a speed advantage against Lapo. They need to clear out. The 3-point shot won't go. Rebound claimed by Barroca. Tight pass, De La Rosa. Oh, what a clean swipe from Enciso. On the attack now is Oftana, blocked by Lucero. He reclaims the basketball and then he secures the bucket.
It was against the best shot blocker of Magnolia. But Oftana and Pugoy, we talked about the need for them to take over. Enciso with 2 straight defensive stops. 57-47 earlier on a 7-2 run coming from Magnolia, but Pugoy and Oftana not yet done. Lead down to 3 for the Hotshots.
You know what I love about
after suffering a high-grade left ankle sprain for Calvin Oftana last game in the second quarter, it was adrenaline that allowed him to finish the game. But in the recent days, he really focused on managing the pain in practice. Earlier, we talked to him. He said the pain level is at 5 to 6 out of 10. Though the swelling has died down, he admits that he hesitates with his lateral movement. But Calvin doesn't want to send a message to his teammates that he has given up, and he wants them to see how much he'll be embracing the difficulty of finding his way around Magnolia's defense despite not being 100%. Back to you, gentlemen.
Well, Tyrese Halliburton said, if I can walk, I can play. That's the same mentality being kept here by Calvin Oftana, because if you won't stand up for a knockout game where your Grand Slam hopes are on the line, then you don't deserve to wear this jersey. And Sao Oftana giving it his all, fighting back for the Tropang 5G, working on this 3-point deficit right now against Magnolia.
You can always rest after the conference is done, but not right now.
4:35 left in the third quarter. Jonicio has been trying. Finally,
oh, wow.
Finally it falls for the 3-point distance for Aris.
That's a simple pass coming from Lastimosa. Cobontin was late to close out. Too much space given up by Cobontin in that last sequence.
And Ciso, counter 3, can't knock it down. Air ball for Simon.
Has not scored in the last 2 games. Talking about Enciso.
Jonicio to Sanggalang, he will not shoot from there. They will ask Jerome Lastimosa to set up the play instead. Lastimosa, cat quick, blocked up top by Eram.
It's the final roadblock coming from TNT as it tried to blow by Poyeram.
A lot of time remaining,
Ooh.
13 seconds. Eram lost momentarily his coverage, but Ian Sanggalang could not maximize. And Ciso calling for elbow. There he is, Eram with a pass to heading, extra pass down low. Another extra to Oftana, blocked partially by Lastimosa. Barroca to Lastimosa. The layup won't work. Rebound claimed by Jonicio. Aris to William Navarro. There's a foul against Cobontin.
Again, the contributions coming off the bench. From Lastimosa, from Poli, even from Aris Jonicio. The 3-ball earlier that finally moved Magnolia out of the 57-point output that stood since the 6-minute mark.
Now the question is, who will spearhead the offense for TNT now that Calvin Oftana will have to take a quick break? Great cob from Lastimosa. Jordan Heading lost his man, and Lastimosa made him pay.
Number 1 passer, best assist man, Barroca.
That loose ball is claimed by William Navarro. Aris Jonicio will not force the issue. Sanggalang posting up against a smaller Cobontin. Lastimosa to Barroca. There's a recovery on defense, at least for the white shirts.
Ooh.
Navarro with a dangerous pass. Jonicio misses that look from downtown. That would be a very short break for Calvin Oftana, already trying to report back to live action. Heading, pull up J, won't go. Barroca, shovel pass, Lastimosa attacks baseline, sets up Sanggalang. There's a foul before the shot attempt. Again, one of the fouls to give for TNT here in the third quarter.
Ooh. We still have a full quarter left to be played, plus the remaining time here in quarter 3.
Hingalang ang pahinga ni Calvin Oftana. That is how important he is to the cause of the TNT Tropang 5G.
Uminom lang.
Yep, that's all you get. With a grand slam on the line, Coach Ronnie. 2:25 left in the third quarter.
Tama naman.
Barroca, pull-up 3, won't go. Oftana immediately makes an impact, grabbing the rebound.
Ankle sprain and all.
This lead has been up to 8 once again, as TNT is in desperate need of a bucket. That would be an offensive foul against JP Eram. But the point he's trying to make here is that he was pushed from behind by Ian Sanggalang into Mark Barroca. The referees called the foul on the last contact that they saw, which was the collision between JP Eram
and
the Mark
last
Barroca.
Foul for Poyera?
And that's only substitution.
The signal was for 15 seconds
Okay.
that Mark Barroca has spent down. The referee saying that the push coming from Ian Sanggalang was not enough, as it was the elbow of JP Eram that collided with the side of the head of Mark Barroca, who has to be subbed out of the game.
There's an official suspension of
There's some
play.
blood also in the back of the jersey of Jordan Heading. So Coach Reyes will use Brian Eruela as Jordan Heading will have to swap out his jersey.
As quick as possible.
Another dry spell in the scoring department for TNT, similar to what happened at the tail end of the second quarter, Coach Ronnie.
But they still have this remaining time to be able to recover and cut into this 8-point deficit. Wow.
Jerome Lastimosa misses. Eruela picks up the board, an important one for their cause, but can they score? That has been the bigger challenge for them. Kelly Williams, difficult shot attempt. He will at least get 2 free throws.
The master of the trail post attack.
Foul on number 10, Ian Sanggalang, that's his third foul.
Ian Sanggalang whistled for his 3rd personal foul.
Since we started this quarter at 44-37, since that time, 18 points for Magnolia, 17 for TNT. Down earlier at 57-47, coming alive at 57-52. And then a counter once again, coming from Junicio off the bench to push Magnolia ahead by 8 points once more. Nothing is easy in the playoffs, really. Especially
Not between these two
These two.
teams.
top defensive teams and two of the winningest teams in the history of the PBA.
It will always be a crawl, a grind between TNT and Magnolia. They trap Lastimosa, but Navarro is able to cross the timeline. Sanggalang now posting up versus Kelly Williams. Double team comes. The cut. Oh, that was a hit on the face of William Navarro, and it will be reviewed.
All players need to see their shaded area and front of their respective benches. Both teams are boxed.
And again, the teamwork between Sanggalang and Will Navarro. Short time that they have played together. Big-to-big passing.
And with the call that was made earlier, the flagrant one that was tagged against Peter Alfaro
Right.
for the hit
Against,
on the head of
BGR.
Brandon Canuelas-Rosser. Let's see what the decision will be coming from the referees now. First basket is good, obviously, for William Navarro.
Back to an 8-point lead.
Has to be a flagrant foul penalty 1.
Kubuntin went for the double.
Again, there was clear precedent coming from the call earlier that was tagged against Peter Alfaro. He'll have to sit out 3 minutes, and it will be crucial minutes how this TNT squad can keep their heads above water, not drown against Magnolia without their most potent weapon in Calvin Oftana.
first player to score outside of Oftana and Roger Pogoy is Kelly Williams. The best time of the third quarter was wherein Oftana and Pogoy were able to help out TNT with a major scoring run to trim the gap to just 3 at 57-54, 4 minutes and 55. Since that time, 8 points for Magnolia, only 2 points for Tropang 5G.
I think Heading was able to get a basket
Meron isa.
here in the third quarter.
Good.
65-56 is the count right now. William Navarro missing the outside shot. Kelly Williams draws a foul, and that was needlessly physical coming from Ian Sangalan because they're in the penalty, coach.
And that far away from the basket.
He may have felt that Kelly Williams was in a bit of trouble trying to stay away from that baseline. Now Kelly Williams back on the strive for 2 more. Takes care of the first once again, providing anything that he could to the cause of TNT.
And this is where the veterans at times have their edge. Able to play in this type of situations given the vast experience, the winning experience, the championship experience that they have in their arsenal.
2 for 2, clean trip for Kelly Williams, 8 points. 6 coming from the stripe to cut their deficit down to 7. Now both teams are in penalty. Less than a minute remaining. Ball fake for Lastimosa. Threads the needle. Navarro down low. Goes reverse. Lost his grip on the way up. Could not sink that layup. Crucial possession here for TNT. BGR against a double team. That will be a foul on the double. Again, you can see Paulie saying that I did not need the help. I was okay defending BGR on the post-up as Navarro commits the personal, sending BGR to the stripe.
3 out of 4 earlier coming from Kelly Williams in 2 trips to the line.
Brandon Ganuela-Strasser has struggled from the stripe in this game. Can he secure at least 1? Shoots 50%, 3 of 6. Enough to trim their deficit to also 6 points, 65-59. Lastimosa to Junicio, now to Paul Lee. He wants 4. Can't get it. Jordan Heading secures the board.
Highest scoring quarter so far for TNT against Magnolia here in this match with 22 third quarter points.
About 4-second difference between game block and shot block. Jordan Heading misses from deep. A lot of time for Magnolia. They have the advantage. They're on the run. Lucero misses the layup. Pogoy on the attack. Pogoy all the way.
No Oftana, no problem. RR Pogoy having the last say. Some costly misses here for Magnolia. Just like that, TNT is only 1 possession away from the hot shots to close out quarter 3.
65-61 heading into the 4th and final quarter of action.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
And this has been the story of this matchup so far for Magnolia. Perimeter points. We all assumed that it would be a weakness against TNT, but not the case here in this ball game. They have had more outside shots, more three-point, more four-point conversions against the TNT Tropang 5G. Their offense on point, 19 assists. Sharing is caring for the Chicken Timplados Hotshots. But for TNT, it has been a two-man show. It has been RR Pugoy and Calvin Oftana doing everything they can to give their squad a lift and force a deciding game on Saturday against Magnolia. In that third quarter, Coach Ronnie, was the first period that TNT won in this game. Can they use that momentum to complete the turnaround and win the fourth quarter and the game as well?
And it's mainly through the efforts coming from Pugoy and Oftana that TNT was able to inch closer. Of course, Kelly Williams pitch in. And it's all about the final quarter between Magnolia and TNT.
1 more minute before Calvin Oftana can check back into this contest. Pugoy attacks the closeout. The finger roll is sweet.
Scored the last basket of quarter 3. Nails the first bucket of the fourth.
That will be a foul tag on Kelly Williams as he wanted to really press and trap Paul Lee.
Almost. 64-56. Magnolia still ahead, a minute and 20 mark. And also the value of Mark Barroca upon going out cannot be overemphasized.
Sanggalang coming in to replace William Navarro. And you will see Coach Chito Victorero going back to many of his veterans because they will be needed to close out this game and this quarterfinals duel against TNT. Lastimosa versus Kelly Williams. Lastimosa goes to Jonicio. He recovers. He goes on the push shot. He bangs it home.
The first-year player will place with that poise. Big basket coming from Lastimosa.
Back to a 4-point lead, 67-63 for Magnolia. Ruela to BGR against Sanggalang. Oh, they overhelp and they pay for it dearly with another bucket from RR Pugoy. 6 straight points for a guy who just celebrated his birthday.
The RR Pugoy explosion even without Calvin Oftana.
Lastimosa has a speed advantage against BGR. Goes to his right, snatches back. Lastimosa forces it up and gets the friendly roll.
Again, the composure and the poise. As an orchestrator, outstanding. As a shot maker, very crafty.
Unshy of the moment, Eruela goes on the attack. Brian, his pass stolen. Counter steal though, as Eruela is fouled by Barroca. Smart foul from Barroca because if he did not give that up, that would have been an easy pass to BGR for a quick 2.
And again, the overplay. Perfect read on the defense coming from Pugoy. Who can stop RR Pugoy right now? Or what about that air break coming from Jerome Lastimosa?
69-65, that is the count right now as Calvin Oftana allowed to check back in after serving out that 3-minute penalty.
Pugoy has already exceeded his 18-point contribution in 34 minutes. The last time the TNT was beaten by Magnolia, 88-83.
Jordan heading, goes to BGR inside, big collision, and he will be called for the offensive foul.
All players, please proceed to the shaded area in front of your respective benches. Both teams are advised to observe proper bench decorum.
And our lead official, Peter Balao, deciding that he wanted another look at it. It looked like Ganuelos Rosser already had the advantage.
Sanggalang was there to catch that downhill move.
This could be a crucial call coming up.
This one.
Just an offensive foul against Brandon Ganuela's roster. That could have been disastrous if it was a flagrant foul, as it would mean 5 minutes off the game for BGR.
TNT going small right now.
They go big once again, as immediately Kelly Williams marches back in.
Parang nagkamali lang sa papalitan. Oo.
Still have 10 minutes remaining in this game. Poli, Barroca, Lucero, Sangalang, and De La Rosa, the 5 for Coach Chito Victorero. Barroca, the one-hander on the run, too strong. That will be a loose ball foul.
Is that the fifth?
Versus Magnolia.
Sangalang. Let's double check. That's the 5th.
And that will force the hand of Coach Chito Victorero to sub out Ian Sangalang. In comes Rafi Rivas.
The evergreen Rafi Rivas.
We send it back to Bell.
We're back, boys. That's what we heard from TNT's camp at the end of the third quarter, because despite how physical and frustrating that quarter might have been, the TNT players encouraged one another that they could definitely get their momentum going here in the fourth. Coach Shot urged them to be more disciplined in their defensive coverage so they can also settle offensively, especially because the coaches want to see them become more patient until they find the best shot possible, just like Pugoys. They don't want them to get their frustrations, allow the frustrations to control them, and they were even encouraging Calvin Oftana, telling him to just breathe till eventually get things going. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you for that report, Bell. They're definitely back in action, as that three-point shot, a good one, a tough one coming from Pugoy. Gets them within a point, but they turn the ball over. Miscommunication between Calvin Oftana and the cutting Kelly Williams. Will give the ball right back to the Hotshots.
RR Pugoy did not score in the first quarter. Had 8 in quarter 2, 10 in quarter 3. Continues to be hot here in the fourth, moving TNT closer and closer to the Hotshots.
Poli using the screen. Now Xavier Lucero. Attack, stops. His pass stolen by Oftana. They don't have the numbers, so Oftana hits the brakes. A chance to take the lead here for TNT. Oh, that will be a flopping technical foul. Boy, a crucial call at this stage against Barroca.
Lucero has been contained to only 8 points. A leading scorer for the Hotshots, whose conference lowest 11 points, has been contained well by BGR in their matchup.
And that threat of a post-up versus RR Pugoy, it forces you to really have to be creative on defense. Unfortunately for Barroca, the referee is not biting his cell on the push. And now Oftana ties the game with a technical free throw conversion.
Maybe over 50% of their total output coming from these national players, Oftana and RR Pugoy.
You know, as poorly as TNT has shot from downtown, 3 of 21, they have pulled level. Kelly Williams slow to get up. And now Pugoy has it. 2 to shoot. Pugoy will have to go up. That will not work out. And now Magnolia will have an opportunity to run. Navarro hits the brakes. Looking for a friend, finds Barroca. A 69-69 deadlock. Navarro hits the layup.
The ability to find an open teammate. That's what Mark Barroca is all about. Setting up Navarro to go downhill, increasing their lead to 2 points.
Oftana. So many defenders send his way. He will get 2 free throws after drawing the foul.
Lucero now with his 4th personal foul. And remember that Magnolia was in team penalty in the previous quarter that enabled TNT to go to the line 12 times.
That was a shot coming from William Navarro. But now a response awaits courtesy of Calvin Oftana. TNT is 15 for 21 from the stripe.
9 of 12 in the previous quarter. That's 9 of their 24 points coming from the free throw line.
But in the payoff period, you will have to make sure you make all of these trips to the line count. First miss of the game for Oftana. Oh, rare opportunity of missing 2 free throws for Oftana. The lead stays at 2 for the Hotshots. Lastimosa against a much bigger BGR. Will he use his speed? Will he take matters into his own hands? He will, but he sets up a pass to De La Rosa. Does not convert inside. Bogoy wants the lead, won't get it. But Xavier Lucero mishandles the rebound, loses it to the baseline. We send it back to Bell.
Gentlemen, you listed down earlier TNT's finals MVPs from recent years. Let's talk about Rey ng Batak. Initially, they thought he'd be ready by playoffs, but according to PT Dexter Aceron, he's not only nursing a groin injury, but also an aggravated hip flexor injury on his left side, making his recovery longer than expected. And according to Coach Dexter, because of this, it's very unlikely that ng Batak will make a comeback of this conference. Gentlemen.
Thank you for that report, Bell. Certainly missing the services of Stingray, but they're making do with effort right now, courtesy of Calvin Oftana fishing for the foul against Xavier Lucero. Now back on the line to try and make up for that earlier trip.
Makes us remember the gallant effort coming from Jonard Clarito earlier in the first match between NLEX and, of course, the team of Rain or Shine. 20 and 20 for Clarito.
I don't know who is the smallest player who ever picked up 20 rebounds in a PBA game, Coach, but Clarito might be in the running because that was a mighty effort to keep Rain or Shine alive. Will TNT do the same? We'll have the answer.
Lucero now with five personal fouls in the same boat as Ian Sangalang.
William Navarro loses the ball to the side, to the baseline rather, as it was tapped by Kelly Williams. Ball stays with Magnolia. 4.1 seconds on the shot clock.
10 in the quarter for TNT, 6 points so far para dito sa Magnolia.
Tough spacing results to a miss, but Navarro found the angle for the offensive rebound. Fresh 14 for the blue shirts. Lastimosa kicks it out to Paul Lee. They swing it to the corner. Lucero attacks the closeout. Drops it off. Navarro foul from behind by Ruela.
Almost a shot clock violation there. Once again, Lucero not settling for the 3 ball. How many big men with that foot speed and the ability to put the basketball down on the floor and attack the basket from beyond the 3-point line.
How about Xavier Lucero in his first playoff game for the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots? Send it back to Bell.
After 2 games where William Navarro clearly struggled and could not find his rhythm off the bench, Coach Chito switched things up last game and decided it might be better for Navarro to start. It proved to be effective, but at this point, Navarro scoring, especially as we've seen in Northport, is not the priority for Coach Chito, because for him, making Navarro start has its value, because what they want, and I quote, makuha niya muna yung buelo niya so he can also have more confidence here with us. Back to you, gentlemen.
Well, he confidently took those 2 free throws to give the lead back to Magnolia, 73-71. Great call coming from Oftana. The location from BGR. That's the second time that Ganuela Strasser found a cutting Oftana.
Again, the defense read against the overplay.
Tied at 73 once more. Almost a turnover. Lastimosa hits the brakes, sends a pass to Navarro. 4 to score. Navarro off the spin. The layup is a beauty.
Garuela appears to be hurt.
He could have stayed down and the officials would have called the timeout.
Has to stay down.
He has to stay down, but now the referees are allowing it to play on, and finally they call the suspension of play as Aruela turned his ankle.
Substitution. Jordan heading for Brian Aruela.
Immediately Jordan Heading called back by Coach Chot Reyes, as they will have to help Brian Aruela off the playing floor. Bobuntin will assist. You can see Aruela grimacing. And you don't want to see this happen, especially with TNT already missing the services of two of their guards in Jason Castro and Reynam Batak. Now Aruela exits this game. Oh, there it is. Rolled his ankle as he was trying to stay right in front of Jerome Lastimosa, almost getting the stop as well. Was Brian Aruela. It is 75-73 for Magnolia, but TNT will have possession and a chance to tie or take the lead when we come back.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays, talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
For the San Miguel Corporation. Looking out for the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots if they could punch their ticket to the semifinals and be the first team to get to the Final Four here in your PBA 49th season. Philippine Cup. RR Pogoy has it, but they're running out of clock. Only 2 to score now. Pogoy still out of position, and that only hits glass. That play went nowhere, as Pogoy was unaware how much time was remaining.
Lost track of the time, but well defended by Will Navarro, as they read that play well. No mismatches in that last sequence for RR Pogoy.
TNT switching guard-to-guard ball screen. San Lastimosa has it versus Heading.
Oh.
Step back jumper. Short air ball for Lastimosa.
Heading to the fourth, Lastimosa had a total of 8 points on 3 out of 10 shooting. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, only 1 turnover.
This could be a top ball screen coming. And it will be Pogoy and Oftana. The 3 for Pogoy is gone. And he takes the lead for TNT. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Rexona. Stay cool in the heat of the game with Rexona High School. It won't let you down.
Big game for RR Pogoy, whose conference high is 35 points, by the way. Down 10, up 1.
What a block! But a foul is whistled against Brandon Ganuelas Rosser.
They were behind 65-61 to open up the fourth. Since that time, 15 points for TNT, 10 for Magnolia.
Again, you go under the screen and you risk having this 3-point shot made by RR Pogoy.
That was a switch on the defense, but Rom De La Rosa was late to step out and contest. Pogoy once again, precise reading on the defense, and the shot making has been second to none for RR Pogoy, especially in the last 2 quarters.
So a foul was called by on Brandon Ganuelas Rosser.
5 on Rosser, 5 on Lucero, 5 on Sangalang.
2 free throws coming up here. Pressure pack for Xavier Lucero. The first one is pure to tie the game at 76.
Here comes Baroka. 3 veteran players here for Magnolia.
We checked in with Brian Miruela after he rolled his left ankle. When Coach Dexter tried to move it, Brian grimaced in pain. They're just letting him breathe and settle down before they put ice, but he won't be able to come back in this ball game. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you for that report, Belle. Right now, TNT will have an opportunity to get it right back, and Pugoy is delivering. He's not stopping. He is still pouncing on every defensive mistake coming from Magnolia. The lead is back with TNT.
Everything that he has launched has turned to gold. Single-handedly pushing TNT once again ahead of Magnolia at this stage.
Navarro, the emergency pass is stolen by Jordan Heading. Pugoy sends it to Heading. Screen provided by Kelly. The pass lands with BGR inside, and he was fouled by Xavier Lucero for 2. And immediately Coach Chito Victoler motions for a challenge. He made sure that he held on to this challenge until this very moment, where it could lead to them erasing these 2 free throws that are supposed to come up for Brandon Ganuela's roster. And for TNT, they used it up very early.
Very early, correct. Last time that these two teams met, Magnolia won 88-83. Just last June 13, 5 days ago. For the right to get the twice to beat edge heading to this game.
Hotshots was not successful.
Unsuccessful challenge. It will send BGR to the line for 2. He has been at 50% throughout this game, 3 of 6. Can he provide a bit of a breathing room for TNT? The first free throw is good for BGR.
It's been a major difference maker here for TNT. Especially defensively against Lucero. So hindi pa 5 fouls si Lucero.
79-77, 3:38 left in this matchup. TNT hoping to extend this to a decider this coming Saturday. Magnolia wants to punch their semis ticket here and now. 2 clean free throws for Brandon Ganuela's roster.
Big free throws by BGR. 3-point lead right now.
Paulie has it up top. Lucero versus BGR, the handoff to Baroka. There's a switch, a big man on him. Lucero posting up against a smaller defense of Heading. Lucero takes advantage.
That's the value of Lucero getting that ball inside. Having that size advantage against Heading.
Big screen coming from Kelly Williams. Opens things up. BGR, corner 3. It's gone! This 3-point shot is brought to you by Rexona. Stay cool in the heat of the game. With Rexona High School, it won't let you down.
5 points in 2 possessions, not just on the defensive end, but even in offense. Rosser has been big.
Baroka, though, responds calmly, coolly, without banking one-hander to stay within striking distance. It's only a 2-point lead for TNT. Pugoy has been the star of the 4th quarter for TNT. Pugoy on the drive, kicks it out. Kelly Williams for 3. What a time for the threes to fall for TNT!
This team was just 1 of 13 from the 3-point line in the first 24 minutes. Not the same story in the last 2 quarters. What about this pass earlier?
3-point shot coming from Brandon Ganuela's roster, assisted by Jordan Heading. and then another drive, another paint touch. This time around, coming from R.R. Pogoy, trusting Kelly Williams. He was open from downtown, and he converts to add to their lead, and now stands at 5 points, a 2-possession advantage for TNT. 86-81, timeout, Magnolia. Coming from the middle four and having to be the Magnolia Chicken Timplados twice to hit the semifinals, but for them to get there, this one is a requirement. This game is a must-win for TNT.
So far winning the quarter 25-16. 3-point flurry courtesy of Pogoy, Williams, and BGR. Up 5 at this stage.
Paul Lee, can he provide magic here in the end game? Lucero, double team comes for him. The ball is stolen by Oftana. Calvin skies, a layup is gone off the back.
Big stop. Costly turnover. Up 7 after being behind by 10 earlier.
Must-score situation for Magnolia. Barroca, the three. No! Now the TNT Tropang 5G slowing things down to a crawl. Jordan heading, finds a gap, passes it out to BGR. No need to shoot just yet. They will look for R.R. Pogoy. You can see Jordan heading already cramping up. Pogoy misses. Big time rebound. Put back, no. Rebound claimed by Barroca. They need to act quick. Barroca attacks inside. The pass to De La Rosa. Almost stepping out of bounds, but he recovers. Barroca on the drive, stops, turns. De La Rosa momentarily open. Big time three-point shot to keep them in the game.
What about that setup jab coming from Barroca? Rome hit a 4-point shot earlier to open up the third. Now, a crucial three-pointer that gets them back in the hunt.
It's only a one-possession disadvantage, 88-84. Pogoy using the screen. There's a switch on the Paul Lee on him now. 3 to score. Pogoy. The short stab, no. Put back! No! It rolls out for Calvin Oftana. Magnolia still in this. Paul Lee ties the game with a 4!
We knew it was coming sooner or later. 7 points in 2 possessions. Down 88-81. Oftana, golden chance. But he missed. But Paulie, as soon as he crossed.
The best 4-point shooter in the PBA and by far just made the biggest one of the 49th season PBA Philippine Cup to tie the game at 88 against TNT. The Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots down 7, back from the dead and forcing this time out from TNT. 37.46 left in regulation. Our game reset. Both teams will have their fulls and their 30s, one of each. TNT still has a foul to give before heading into penalty. It's a game of mere inches. You saw the miss of Calvin Oftana. It was halfway home. It was right there, right for the taking, but it would not sink. It would not go down, and that opened up the opportunity for Paul Lee.
And the mental lapse to go under the screen against Paul Lee. with the game on the line. Paulie makes them pay. And again, the veterans with the big shots, with the big plays. De La Rosa, Paulie, 7 points, 2 possessions, down 7, tied at 88.
Paulie has been effective shooting the long ball, the threes, the fours, the playmaking. But that shot, saved the day for Magnolia. Now they will have to defend. TNT inbounded from their backcourt, claiming the full 24-second shot clock. Paulie will rest on the bench. Offense-defense substitution for Coach Chito Victorero.
Magnolia's in team penalty.
Pogoy has it. Oftana on the attack, off the spin, pull-up jumper. No, the battle for the boards picked up by Oftana. He exits and will milk the clock further. Oftana suddenly attacks a drive. Won't work. Tip in. No! But there's a foul, and they're in the penalty. So that's 2 free throws coming up for Kelly Williams. Tremendous effort on the rebounding department for TNT.
At this stage of the match, it's all about effort. Making the right plays, making the biggest plays here in the end game. Oftana doing the right thing, bringing out Rafi Ribes and then attacking him with this advantage in foot speed. And then the last line protector in Lucero. But Williams will not give up on this last offensive sequence.
Kelly Williams, the veteran, the MVP, one of the PBA's greatest players, will be tested from the stripe to try and push TNT ahead.
Conference on the line. Grand Slam on the line for TNT with this coming free throws. Chance to live and fight another day for Tropang 5G.
Williams has made his last 4 free throws. He is 6 of 8 in total. 6.8 seconds remaining in regulation. Kelly Williams put to a test on the stripe. The first free throw, the important one, is good. Now, the setup here is if he misses, we play on. No timeouts. And remember, TNT, they have 1 foul to give, which could be handy should they need it.
And again, the value of these veterans, you can never overemphasize.
The second free throw coming up for Kelly Williams. Pressure pack. He misses. And now we play on. Barroca on the dribble. Grabbed from behind by Glenn Cobuntin.
No foul. It was a foul. Foul was called. So that was the foul to give.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the time that will remain.
So that will put TNT in penalty. As they're protecting this 1-point lead, the referees are taking a look at how much time should be left on the clock. This was Barroca trying to escape. 2.9 seconds. They can call any of their remaining timeouts at this stage to map out a play to try and win this ball game for Magnolia. And Coach Chito Victorero will do exactly that. He will whistle, he will call for their full timeout so they could set up a play. You could go multiple options. But of course, your veterans, Mark Barroca, Paul Lee, should be part of the play here in the end game for TNT. PBA 49th season has already been memorable. Governor's Cup champions, Commissioner's Cup champions, both titles courtesy. The talents, best import, Ronde Hall is chairperson, but now it's just them who sits, no one else but the locals for the TNT Tropang 5G. They've lost their finals MVPs of both conferences in Jason Castro and Reynam Batak. But now they will try, they will do their very best to extend this to a do-or-die match for both teams this coming Saturday.
One defensive stop away from extending the series. I see Ian Sangalang right there along the huddle. Question now is, will he be sent back in for this final possession for the Magnolia Hotshots?
Looks like it will be Paul Lee with Xavier Lucero, Ian Sangalang, Rome De La Rosa, and Mark Baroca as the 5 for Coach Chito Victorero. In these instances, they usually choose De La Rosa to be their inbounder, one of their veterans.
And a very tall inbounder.
But a tall defender as well in Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser, who will make things difficult for De La Rosa on the inbound. Here we go, 2.9 seconds remaining, only a 1-point game. Lucero draws a double team, and he is stopped, completely stopped by BGR and Pugoy. TNT lives to fight another day.
BGR helping out RR Pugoy with that one final stop, disallowing Lucero from even taking a shot in that final possession.
The Grand Slam hopes will stay alive for at least one more game. Lucero drew the double team. Pugoy was there in front of him. And then the help was enough coming from Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser. They needed one last stop. They got it to preserve this 1-point victory against Magnolia.
Wow. Down the wire to the final possession. What a fight back generated by RR Pugoy and the rest of Tropang 5G. Gallant effort to stay alive here in the series. Grand Slam hopes, as you mentioned, still very much alive. We will have the rubber match in the two games that we saw today in the series between NLEX and of course their protagonists. Kanina po nakita natin ay tinalo ng Rain or Shine, RR Pugoy 30 in 42 after being held scoreless in the first 12 minutes.
That was what was needed. Nothing less than 42 minutes for RR Pugoy. You saw him almost struggling to take his steps in the end game, but he did just enough alongside his teammates to keep their squad alive here in your Philippine Cup. RR Pugoy is our best player of the game, and your final score in a tight one. Again, both teams not heading to 90 points. It was 89 to 88 in favor of the TNT Tropang 5G. We will have our best player of the game and our winning head coach in just a little bit, but we remind you of our games on Friday, the doubleheader. Meralco versus SMB, with SMB having twice the beat advantage. Same for Barangay Ginebra San Miguel as they go up against the Converge Fiber Xers. We'll take a quick break.
Umangat pa ang mga bida sa gilas ng hingas, perlas ng silangan, lalong umangas, lalong tumalas ang pinuhunang katas ng pangarap. Lagpas sa lapaap, abante, diskarte, di bale, walang pake sa maaarte, tuloy lang at kampante, ginto lang ang diskarte, bumubulusok, umuusok, tumutusok at tagos sa bawat sulok. Mabangis kumiginang ang lahat nahihibang, nagliliyap, nagniningning, parang pinagtagpong hilig. Bawat upunan, merong hamunan, laban kong laban sa bayanan, isang bansa, isang bansak. PBA, alam mo to, laro mo to, tuloy sa kampyonato. Sama-sama tayo, manlalaro, tapisyonado. Angat ang laban, everybody let's jam it. Can't stop, level up, game plan, here we go. Angat ang laban, everybody let's jam it. Can't stop, level up, game plan, here we go. Angat ang laban,
Welcome to our post-game press conference. We are joined by our player of the game, RR Pugoy, and Coach Chot Reyes of TNT Tropang 5G. Gentlemen, congratulations. I'll start with you, Coach. Just like last game of the elimination round, you faced Magnolia. It was a grinded-out game. But what was the difference maker in this game that contributed significantly to winning?
Well, we made a concerted effort to cut down our turnovers because the last game we had 23 and we lead the league in the fewest number of turnovers. It was very uncharacteristic of us. Credit to Magnolia's defense. They're very physical, they're very long and athletic. The players they got, Xavier Lucero and Will Navarro and Jerome Lastimosa have really added to their athleticism. So it forced us to a lot of turnovers, and that was the number one thing that we talked about, our ability to just get good shots. We didn't shoot well today, but at least we were shooting and we were not turning the ball over. But we still had, for me, too many, 18. But at least we cut that down. It was already 12 in the first half. We cut that in half in the second half, and that's what fueled our comeback.
Thank you, Coach. RR, napag-usapan natin kanina how last game you only had 10 attempts. And today, ikaw yung bumuhay talaga sa team mo. Share mo naman sa amin yung nag-iba or yung adjustment when it comes to your mindset and an approach in this game, knowing na backs against the wall na kayo.
First of all, nagpapasalamat ako sa Panginoon sa panalo. Ano lang talaga, yung mindset ko lang coming to this game is ayaw ko lang magpatalo, ayaw ko magbakasyon. Yun. Tapos, yun nga, binabasa namin yung defense ng Magnolia kasi last time nga, ang dami naming turnover. Siguro, yun yung turning point.
Legacy is on the line here in this matchup between the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots and the TNT Tropang 5G. And it was Calvin Oftana who got started off early. It was not his three-point shooting, but it was his attack towards the shaded area that was effective. But then, as always, Oftana providing impact from everywhere on the floor.
10 first quarter points for Calvin Oftana.
But as usual, the bench came in and did damage for Coach Chito Victorero. They have been the top team in terms of securing off the bench points. You saw three coming from Xavier Lucero, but William Navarro injected as a starter. Also chipping in as Magnolia led 22-18 after the first 12 minutes of play in the second quarter. Pogoy started to hum after being blank in the first quarter.
RR Pogoy will fire a total of 8 second quarter points to help out TNT get to 19 points. Second quarter under 20 points, and they will be behind by 7 at the end of the first two quarters, 44-37.
Jordan Heading, the starter now as a guard for TNT, securing a bucket as he has a size advantage matching up against Magnolia's guards. Meanwhile, this is a big shot, a crucial shot for Magnolia to get them a lot of momentum heading into the third quarter of play as the Hotshots will build a 7-point advantage, 44-37. In the third period, Lucero injected as a starter and he did his damage there, scoring on a variety of ways, including that layup of a cut to the basket, but Pogoy simply will not be denied in this period.
At a total of 10 third quarter points, that's 10 of the 24. And his explosion here in quarter 3 was pivotal for TNT as Magnolia even had a 10-point lead to start quarter number 3.
Lastimosa also got his opportunities to chip in. He will score in double digits, but it was the quarter that will belong to RR Pogoy up until the finish. Scoring a layup going coast to coast. It was the first quarter that TNT won in this game, and they will use that momentum heading into the final period. Before this three-point shot from Kelly Williams, there was one coming from Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser. This is a squad that struggled uncharacteristically from the three-point range all game long. And Calvin Oftana securing a layup to stretch their lead further to 7 points. But there was a response coming from Magnolia first. This three from Rome De La Rosa to keep them in the conversation. And then after a wild miss from Calvin Oftana off a putback, the screen enough for space. Paul Lee explodes from the 4-point range to tie the count at 88 apiece.
Tremendous fight back coming from Magnolia, given up for loss at 88-81, and this game almost went into extra time until Kelly Williams converted one critical free throw to save the day for Tropang 5G.
A game-winning free throw. He will miss the second, so we play on. There was one foul to give coming from TNT, and it was given up by Glenn Cobuntin. This was the final play. Double team against Xavier Lucero. Could not even put up a shot to try to win the game. And TNT will live to fight another day. 89-88 is your final score. So both teams who have the disadvantage of having to win twice did what was needed here inside the Field Sports Arena in the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters and the TNT Tropang 5G. Games on Friday, Meralco versus SMB, Ginebra versus Converge, with SMB and Barangay Ginebra having a twice to beat advantage. Again, those games will be played at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. That will be it for your crew inside the Field Sports Arena. For Miss Belle Gregorio, for Coach Ronnie Magsano and Carlo Pamintuan, we will see you once again on Friday for the continuing coverage, quarterfinals in your PBA 49 season Philippine Cup.
Yo, umangat pa ang mga bida sa gilas ng ningas, perlas ang silangan, lalong umangas, lalong tumalas ang pinuhunang katas ng pangarap. Lagpas sa lapaap, abante, diskarte, di bale, walang pakil sa maaarte, tuloy lang at kampante, ginto lang ang diskarte. Bumubulusok, umuusok, tumutusok at tagos sa bawat sulok. Mabangis kumiginang, ang lahat nahihibang, nagliliyap, nagniningning, parang pinagtagpong hilig. Bawat upunan, merong hamunan, laban kong laban sa bayanan, isang bansa, isang bansak. Hey! PBA! Alam mo to, laro mo to, tuloy sa kampyonato. Sama-sama tayo, manlalaro, tapisyonado.